here we go. Welcome back to Mushoku Tensei, Anime Jobless Reincarnation, Anime Review Episode 34. Yep, 34. And it has been, wow, since September. So it has been a little over 6 months since the last time I did an episode. 6 months. That's all I had to wait for another episode to air. I thought this was going to air tomorrow, but then I got a notification from Crunchyroll like, oh, it's airing today. Okay. So in the case of this episode, well, we start now. By the way, the episode adapts from the first, pretty much the finished up in chapter 1. It goes to pretty much the entire chapter 2 and 3. So, here's what happens. So, the episode starts with Rudy is going to class, where you see the Beast Girls, the Cliff, Zenobia, and Julia says hi to all of them. He informs all of them that his condition has been cured. Of course, he also tells him he's getting married, so then, of course, basically figures an idea, and despite he thinks he's getting married, he can't figure out how to get married. So he asks him a little bit later, how do you get married? First, get a house. Okay. So, yeah. So they basically, so he looks for a cheap house, and he finds a very nice looking house. Now, if you're curious, is this the same house that was mentioned in the books? Yes. This also is the first time we see this house. Of course, this house, I've read all light novels. The light novel, I believe 26 I actually bought 26 recently. Yeah, because the book series wrapped up in Japan just last year, believe it or not. And now we have the release of the final book. Yeah, I own basically books 10 through 26. I do not own the first 9. Purely because basically I didn't really need to get those because I read them digitally, and I got the plan was to get them started digitally, so the physical book 10, but for some reason book 10 wasn't available, so I did bought book 11. Then went back and bought book 8, 10 after I read it already, and I've at that point forward, and I've really enjoyed reading the books. But moving on, so he finds a house, and he brings along Zenobia and Cliff with him to access his house. So basically they go inside, we see this staircase, look like it's covered in mold, like green stuff. Look in the basement, first floor, second floor, like not much here. Then they decide to spend, I guess, this house was basically where this mysterious evil entity that's been killing people living there. So, they spend the night, and while they're there, somebody, this whatever this thing is, I'm not going to say what it is until a little bit, opens up like this secret panel in the basement. And the door opens, and whatever the thing is comes right out and crawls upstairs. And Cliff is the first person to notice something is wrong. So he wakes up Rudius. Then, of course, he requests to go up Zenobia. And they find out, well, and then, of course, Rudius tries to attack it, and, of course, Zenobia defends him. Now, Zenobia, the reason why he's being scratched, his clothes been clawed at, but you're probably wondering, why is he not bleeding? Because this thing has got a weapon, it's too quick to slice up his clothes, why isn't he bleeding? Simple, he's a blessed child. Now, Cliff tries to help out, but doesn't work, so then, of course, the thing is stopped, and it turns out this thing is a mechanical doll. By the way, when they go to the basement earlier, I don't know if this was an animation glitch or something, because anime can tell that they apparently didn't look on the floor, because they probably didn't notice that the wall moved, and they went back down later to feed the doll. They open a door, and it's a secret room where apparently it's known for, or this is a room for like making dolls. A little bit later on, after Rudy's moves into place, this becomes is basically his private office. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this. At the start of the episode where all this happened, we see Rudy's room in his dormitory, and there's a piece of bedding missing. Okay, if you watch the episode, you're probably wondering, why in the world did he cut a piece of his bedding out and put it inside of the cabinet with the pair of panties? Well, that was Safi. That was her basically having her first time. Oh, by the way, the panties belong to Roxy. He stole them from her and never returned them. As a matter of fact, here's the weird thing about these panties. Did you know there is roughly about like who actually knows about these panties per se? Well, Rudy is his stepmom, the two Beast Girls, and Zenobia, and that's it. These are the only people who ever find out about these panties. Now, Roxy probably suspects the fact Rudy has probably stole her panties when she was living with her, when she was basically his tutor, but she never gets them back. And Rudy just basically puts in that it's his own personal religion where he works his panties. Yes, for some reason he does. It's a weird fetish of his. Also, he has this thing where he stares at the Beast Girls because he's cured. But moving on from all that. So then, of course, they do mention the whole thing about and then Zenobia volunteers to study this thing. Okay, and then he brings out Safi. Now, this has been rearranging because they actually have it where in the book this happened toward the end of the chapter and toward the quarterway point. Here is basically toward the end of the episode. He brings Safi out. He sees the house and the exterior looks completely fixed. No broken railings, no vines. Apparently, this is remodeled off screen, and apparently it took time to buy furniture. Now, if you're curious, was this covered from the anime? Kind of, yes. But not really. He just basically goes around, and then the episode ends with him making out and possibly having sex, basically basically the first night in the house. That is presumed, anyways. But damn good episode. I enjoyed it. Now, how many more episodes are we going to give this thing? Probably about 11 more of this stuff. So we're probably going to get about 4 months of this, and then we'll pretty much be done for season 2. And I pray to God, basically, the studio greenlights season 3 because, well, from what I've heard for the season, this quarter anyways, that this is going to cover books 10 to 12. I'm like, okay, I can buy that. Yes. Book 12, basically, read the books from the end perspective. 12 seems like a very good place to end season 2 on. Because that's the end of a story arc. I would say that when they bring back Eris per se, because she's going to come back. I believe she comes back in book 14, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I think it's book 14. And that starts a new season. It's cool with her, but we'll get back to that. Rox comes back in book 12. Well, basically around to Rudius book 12, because she had not seen him since book 1 of the series. Yes, you heard me correct. She has not seen since book 1. Yep. But, yeah, that's going to be pretty much it. Particularly. Oh, by the way, this is the book dash of book 10 right here. Yep. You're thinking, oh, yeah. Oh, the fact that they also mentioned I have to get the thing extra as the house of a wedding. Now, in the book, basically, he refers to Elsie by her full name, Elsia. In the anime, just basically a nickname for her. And, of course, nobody mentions Julie. But love this episode. I would say very low change from the actual book. I think the only thing that it's mostly but just some rearranging, but it fits the anime. It's perfectly fine with me. So you think, okay, I actually had 6 anime due today, but I only managed to do 3 because 2 of the anime basically based on light novels, and plus I did about 2 comic corners today. So this is going to be pretty much it for a particular review. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and do not hit that dislike button. So tomorrow, probably the very first video you'll see tomorrow will be Super Sentai, because that's back tomorrow. First time in a month that's back. Yep. Expect that tomorrow. A few comic corners, and well, technically I have 4 but basically anime tomorrow. I have roughly 4 anime. And those 4 anime are Tushimunchi Moonlit Fantasy, Martial Magic and Muzzles, Blue Exorcist, and Case Closed. If I don't manage to finish them all out tomorrow, I probably will finish it up probably on Tuesday at the latest. Yep. But yeah, Until I see you all tomorrow. Bye.